Ahoy there, me hearties! This be Captain Silverhook, and you're listening to the Two Old Pirates podcast. Set sail for an open sea of stories, tales, and some really crazy stuff. I expect you to like and subscribe, lest you be walking the plank. Ha ha ha!
Hello and welcome to podcast episode 144 of the Two Old Pirates. I hope that everybody's doing well out there, and I think that you're going to find this one pretty interesting. So, here in the local area, my family they've had roots in the Rockport area for over 50 years. That's half a century, long time. Well, we know a whole lot of different things about the surrounding towns: Ingleside, Aransas, Portland, Gregory, Taft, Sinton, Rockport, But I bet you might not know this story. But we have to go back a little bit in time. In 1915, there was a movie released, and it was called Birth of a Nation. And it really captured the Southern feeling again about greatness and rebellion and basically everything from the Civil War. And so what happened is, this is the second incarnation of the Ku Klux Klan. And it started spreading everywhere again, all throughout the South: Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. What happened was, Texas was pretty big with the KKK. They said at one point in time in Dallas, 1 out of every 3 men were KKK members. By 1922, there was around 150,000 loyal KKK members here in the state of Texas alone. They mostly went after, of course, African Americans, but they also centered on Jews, Catholics, and what they considered immoral white folk. So people that they thought were below them, that didn't add anything to what they thought of as white folk. Just in the 1920s, the KKK killed over 600 African Americans here in the state of Texas. There were public Klan days. There were Klan parades, there was Klan marches, and they kept on doing this over and over and over so that they could go ahead and display strength and also intimidate people. But you're saying, what does this have to do with the surrounding area? Well, growing up in Rockport, I'd always heard rumors, but I decided to go ahead and really look into it for this podcast episode. And yes, in 1924, a pamphlet was made that was passed around all over the state of Texas at Klan rallies about a new spot for Klan families to come to have a relaxing vacation right in Rockport, my hometown. So it was a proposed vacation site on Aransas Bay at the Live Oak Peninsula. So if you're from Rockport and you know where Live Oak Peninsula is on Aransas Bay, that's where it was going to be. It was going to be open from May 1st until September, the summer months, so that families could come down and enjoy the beauty of that area. Now, the Grand Dragon of the KKK in Texas, he had heard from a Klan member who was very, very powerful and very, very important in the San Antonio area, named C.T. Gilliam. Gilliam was not some stumblebum. He was graduated the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis. Okay, he had served the military for years. He'd gone all over the world, but at his core was a racist ideology against others that he was going to invest to go ahead and open this up. So he had his full approval, and he passed it from clan to clan to clan, all the groups, as the Grand Dragon, that this place was going to be the place for Klan members and their families to go on vacation, because it's a place that the white man needed to get away to. It was going to be called the Kool Koast Kamp, all spelled with the letter K. And it was going to open the summer of 1924. This is during that second incarnation. The camp promised to provide a high-class vacation for any average, normal Klan member and their family. You'd have moonlight sailing parties, or you'd have daytime yachting. You'd have golf trips. You'd have the ability to investigate all the surrounding strange islands. You'd have swimming. You'd have bathing. and the shallow beaches for the kids. There was shade everywhere so that you could stay out of that hot summer Texas sun, but still feel the cool breeze off the water. And they said, crank up your Lizzie and come on down. A Lizzie was a Ford Model T. It was called a Tin Lizzie back then. So they were basically saying, get your truck, get your Ford Model T and load it up and come down here and go ahead and enjoy yourself amongst all these other, clan members right here in this specific spot in Rockport, Texas. They promoted fishing excursions where you caught reds and green trout and sea turtles and Spanish mackerel, groupers and croakers, flounder. There was also shrimping and crabbing. It sounded like a wondrous place to be. Also, they pushed that mothers, you have no work to do. You can relax here on this beautiful beach near the water. And every single night there will be a fiery cross burning to show that you're guarded at night. Not only by Christianity in their minds, but also an officer of the law that has been hired to protect all the people at the camp. If you reserved your spot, you got it 50% cheaper than any other clan member. This is what you get. It's $1 a day, and they asked you to do 10-day vacations. So you would end up paying $10, $1 a day. And this is what you got for your dream vacation. You got one family unit, which was an army tent, partially floored. There'd be lights and water for you inside your tent. There'd be 2 cots for you to sleep on. But if you needed more, you could fit up to 6 cots in the tent for you, your wife, your children. The tents were also under shaded areas so that they wouldn't heat up in the middle of the day if you wanted to go take a nap. And they all faced the sea so that you'd have that cool wind blowing in. There was bathing facilities that were going to be there. There was a restaurant, a store, ice cold drinks, soda pop, milk, ice water. Now, meals were a little bit extra. So if you wanted to have a nice meal at the restaurant, you'd have to pay a little bit extra. What they put out in this pamphlet is they asked every Klansman to get 50 other Klansmen to invite 50 non-Klansmen. And they said by this way, you'll say, hey, let's come down on this vacation. You didn't really have to push that you're a Klansman. But what happened is you get these 50 individuals that were not Klansmen and their families to come down. And then they would be able to see the beauty of the place, and they'd be able to go fishing and the yachting and all this other crap. And maybe during that time, during those 8 to 10 days, you could kind of switch them on to being in the clan. Now, mind you, this is also a money-making venture, because for $10, yes, you could come down here and stay for the basic necessities and stuff like that. But if you got those other 50 people, that'd be 50 more people or families paying. So you'd be bringing in money that way. So it wasn't just all about clan and them having a good time and being relaxing and stuff like that. What they had originally hoped for was that it would grow large enough that they could have presidential candidates in future presidential elections vacation there. The clan was back in popular fashion at this point in time, and they wanted to grow the way that it had been back during the Civil War days. And mostly, that's the extent that I could go ahead and get to you about the pamphlet that I found and what I had read about the Kool Koast Camp. It was supposed to be paradise on earth for Klansmen and their family to vacation every single summer. If anybody on here is a little bit more of a historian than me and they know more about the Kool Koast Camp and where it was in Rockport and whatever happened to it, please comment and let me know, because it's a part of Rockport history that a lot of people don't know. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast episode of the Two Old Pirates, episode 144, about the Kool Koast Camp right here in Rockport that a lot of people don't know about. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you have any comments, please comment. And we'll be getting back to you real soon with the next one. Peace.